Hey everyone, I'm Beckie Machine and welcome back to my channel. So I've been streaming a lot of my album production live on my Twitch channel, and I get asked quite a lot what my favourite plugins are. So today I'm going to go through my top 3 favourite plugins that I use in every session. Okay, so I've opened up my Ableton live session and I've got one of the songs that I'm working on my album. And the first plugin that I use across everything, SoundToys Decapitator. And it's just such an awesome plugin. So SoundToys Decapitator is a distortion plugin and I use it on a lot of the drums. I use it on the vocals sometimes and across pretty much all basses and a lot of the synths. I always use it in a really subtle way. So I will usually, depending on the instrument and how it sounds, I will try some of the presets out, but generally if you just turn the drive up to maybe 3 or 4 and then have a little play around with the dry and wet knob, you might just get the perfect balance, but it depends on what the instrument is. So let's have a look at this lead that I have at the end of this song. So let's solo it without Decapitator to start with. Then listen to it in the mix. Okay, so that is without Decapitator on. If we have a listen to what Decapitator's doing, I'll play you without Decapitator and then with Decapitator. So when I turned it on, it just adds a little bit of grit to the instrument and just gives it a little bit of that extra life. In the overall mix, it also just helps the instrument kind of cut through a little bit. Because this is the lead synth in this area, I really wanted it to cut through, so I found Decapitator just kind of helped push that. So this is it without. And then if we try it with. It just has so much more life to it, like the instrument just sounds a lot better. But yeah, you can have a little play around with it. So you've got the drive here, you've got the frequency bands here on where you're pushing the distortion. And also, yeah, the dry and wet knob, so you can play around with how much you want. But they've also got a bunch of really cool presets. But yeah, it's quite fun to just have a play with this one. Highly recommend it. So my next plugin that I absolutely love is Waves Vitamin, which is a saturation plugin. In this song, I've used it on the vocals. You can use it across everything. It's just a saturation plugin. It's really easy to use. This is what it looks like. You've got your different frequency bands along the top. You can choose what parts you want to saturate. So this is on the lead vocal, and you can just basically increase the knobs to saturate it. So let me give you an example. So an example without. And an example with. I've been wanting an escape. And what you can do is you can just basically increase these knobs depending on how much you want to saturate it or where you feel like the sound would most benefit. You can solo your bands to see what part you're affecting. Which I quite like. That's on a mono track, but if I quickly put it on a stereo, you can actually mono up the different bands. So I can mono up the low end of the sub bass, and that will just help in the mixing phase, removing some of the bass frequencies from the wider stereo space to allow some of the other instruments to cut through. And the final plugin that I absolutely cannot produce without as well is FabFilter Pro reverb plugin. I use it across everything. I think it's a really great plugin, very easy to use. So let's have a quick look at it. Kind of lost my way. What I do like about the Fab Filter Pro-R, they have the decay rate EQ and the post rate EQ, and it's just a few knobs. Like, it's so easy to control the settings. You can EQ out some of the reverb frequencies that you don't want to hear, again allowing you to create more space when it comes to mixing. So if you find the EQ is a little bit bright, you can just take it off. You could also take out some of the lower frequencies if you didn't want them. So it's very, very versatile, very easy. It's got some really cool presets as well, some that are more creative, others that are a bit more basic depending on your mixing needs, but it's just an overall very easy plugin to use. You can also have a mono reverb as well, which I think is really important. You may not necessarily always want to have a stereo reverb because, again, if you have some instrument set to mono, reverb, it will allow for a bit more space in your mix. So yeah, that was my top 3 plugins that I cannot produce without. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video today. And if you did, make sure you like, comment and subscribe below. If you did want to chat with me off of YouTube, come and say hello to me on my Twitch channel over on twitch.tv/Beckie Machine, or you can come and join the Discord server. The link will be down below. In the next video, I'm going to be posting up another DJ set, so be sure to look out for that one. And yeah, that is all from me today. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!